Okay, this is Mr. Brown speaking. And by popular demand, we are finally going to release the much anticipated Rubik's Cube video. A bunch of my students have requested that we do a video on the Rubik's Cube. So today's the day that I'm going to show you my method, the Nat Brown method for solving a Rubik's Cube. And this is what a Rubik's Cube looks like. I'm sure you know that. And if you were like me growing up in the 1980s, pretty much everybody I knew had a Rubik's Cube, and absolutely no one knew how to do it. I mean, I seriously, I don't know a single person, I didn't know a single person who knew how to do it. Now, probably the reason for that is because there's so many possible arrangements. In fact, I looked this up on Google. According to Google, there are 43 quintillion 252 quadrillion, 3 trillion, 274 billion, 489,856,000 possible arrangements of a standard Rubik's Cube, right? The standard Rubik's Cube is 3 by 3 by 3. And I think you get the idea, right? That's a hell of a lot of arrangements. So if you think you're just going to stumble upon the right answer, that's probably not going to happen. Okay. So what we're going to learn how to do today is take a mixed up Rubik's Cube and turn it into a solved Rubik's Cube. Okay. Now, just buyer beware. Most of the Rubik's Cube videos out there on the internet and on YouTube are fake. Okay. You should just know that. There are lots of videos. For example, I saw a 1 minute video yesterday that claims that they could teach you how to do it in 1 minute. That's complete hogwash. There's no way you could teach in 1 minute. Some people in the world can do it in 1 minute, but that's because they've practiced for many years and learned many algorithms. But you can't learn it in 1 minute. To learn it, you need to spend about an hour. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to teach you how to do it. Um, all right, so what are the basics of the Rubik's Cube? Well, first of all, for the purposes of today's video, we are going to assume that the top of the cube is yellow, okay? Now, there's no real reason for that mathematically, that the top of the cube could be anything, but it just makes it way easier for me to communicate with you if everyone has yellow as the top, okay? So please, whatever you're doing today with the cube, always have yellow as the top face, okay? Now, the other thing to notice, or you may have wondered, how do you know, this is the mixed up one, how do you know which side of the cube is supposed to be yellow? And the answer is the color of the center cube always determines the color of the face, right? So you can see the center square is yellow, so this has to be the yellow face, right? This is an orange center square, so this has to be the orange face, okay? So what's that? That's got to be the white face, okay? That's got to be the red face, the blue face, the green face, okay? So the center square always determines the color of that face, okay? There's no choice in it, okay? In fact, if you took this Rubik's Cube apart, what you'd see is like an X, Y, and Z axis that goes right through the middle. And these center squares do not move relative to each other, right? You can see that this yellow center square is always opposite the white center square, okay? And that's the general rule that similar colors are always on opposite faces, right? So blue is opposite green, and red is opposite orange, yellow is opposite white, okay? All right, let's see. Do I have anything else to say about that? Okay, so the first thing I need you to do is the following. What I need you to do is right below the YouTube video in the description box, you will see this link. Okay, so right below the YouTube video in the description box, look for this link. Click on this link. Okay, it says Nat Brown Rubik's 333 cube solution.pdf. Okay, click on that link, follow the directions to download that document, and please print the document. Okay, you really do need a paper copy. Okay, it's going to be much easier to follow along if you have a paper copy of the algorithms. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to do. If you haven't done that already, please pause the video and go do that now. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume that you've already done that. Okay. Okay, great. So this is what the PDF document looks like. Notice it is 8 pages with some really helpful diagrams. And we're going to go through this whole thing. And don't worry, it's really pretty straightforward. Okay. But right now, I just want to go through this first page. Okay. So this is the regular Rubik's Cube, which is the 3 by 3 by 3 Rubik's Cube. Okay. Now, you can solve the Rubik's Cube by doing 6 stages. Okay. That's all it is, these 6 stages. So let's just go through these stages quickly, and then we'll go through the whole thing with a real Rubik's Cube. Okay. So this is the outline of the 6 stages. Okay. So stage one, use common sense to solve the yellow face. Okay. So that's the first thing you want to do is just solve the yellow face. Just get this yellow face. Now, I don't have anything to tell you regarding that. Basically, any normal person, I'd say 99 people out of 100 can solve the yellow face all by themselves. Okay. It may take a minute or two, but I have really nothing to tell you about that. So I'm just going to assume that everybody's capable of that. So just take your time, take a couple minutes, and solve the yellow cube. Not yet, but when I tell you to, you're going to solve the yellow face. Okay? All right. Stage two, use common sense and practice to solve the top row. Okay? So the next step would be to make sure, after you get let's say we got the yellow face, would be to make sure that this top row is all correct, right? So you have got blue, 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 red, 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 green, 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 orange, orange, orange. Okay, that's the top row. All right. All right. Stage three is use the corner swapping algorithm, which I will explain in a minute, to position but not orient the 4 bottom corner pieces. Okay. In other words, the 4 corner pieces on the bottom. Okay. We just got to make sure those 4 pieces are in the correct position. Okay. Now notice it says use the corner swapping algorithm to position but not orient the 4 bottom corner pieces. Do not worry about the orientation of these pieces for now. Okay. In other words, as long as these 4 pieces are in the correct position, that's good enough, even if they're kind of facing the wrong way. Okay. Turns out you don't have to worry about that. That problem will solve itself later on. Okay. All right. Stage four, use the edge swapping algorithm, which I will teach you, to solve the 4 side edge pieces. Okay. So those are like a piece like this. This is a side edge piece. Now notice that this edge piece is between the green side and the orange side. So this edge piece should be green and orange. So obviously this piece does not belong here. So I'm gonna teach you how to remove that and put in the correct piece. All right. All right. What else? Stage five, use the edge swapping algorithm. Okay, same algorithm to solve the white cross on the bottom face. Okay, now remember the bottom, this is the top face, yellow. The bottom face is white. So you have to make sure you've got a white cross on the bottom. Okay, now this one is completely solved, so it's already there, but generally there won't be a white cross. And you got to make sure that there's a white cross. Okay. So we'll get to that in a minute. All right. And finally, the last stage, use the finishing algorithm repeatedly until the entire cube is solved. Okay. Now it turns out that the finishing algorithm is really simple, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And all you got to do is just keep doing it over and over again, and eventually the entire cube will be solved. Okay. All right. Now, before we start with a real cube, let me just tell you about the L family of algorithms. Okay. So to solve the Rubik's Cube, you must learn three algorithms. All three of these algorithms belong to the L family. You can see this letter L, right? See that L shape? As we're looking in this picture, we're looking at the front of the cube, right? This is the top of the cube. The yellow is the top. We're looking at the front, in this case, blue. And you can see, you can kind of visualize that letter L, right? See that letter L? Okay. Similarly, you can also, if you want to attack, if you want to do the algorithm from the other side, you can visualize a backward L also. Okay. So there's three algorithms, and two of the algorithms are what I'd call ambidextrous. That is, you can use it with the L shape or you can use it with the backward L shape, either one. Okay. So look, see this L shape? If we take this part of the L and go up, that's called up, right? If we go down, it's called down. Makes sense, right? If we go to the right here, that's called across because we're moving across the L, right? If we go this way, it's called back. Okay? And the other thing we can do is turn the front face clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay? So this would be, again, assume this is the front face. This would be up, down, up, down. Remember, visualize this L. Okay? So up, down, across, back, and so on. Okay. And if you wanted to spin the front face, you go clock, counter, clock, or counter. All right. And all of the algorithms just involve those moves up, down, back, across, clock, counter. That's it. Those are the only moves that you need. All right. And again, you could do it from the other side using the backward L shape. All right. Okay. So those are the basics. And let's just start with a thoroughly mixed up cube. I'm just going to mix this up, make sure it's totally mixed up, which I already did, but I'm just going to convince you that this is totally mixed up. Okay. All right. Now, let's start at the top. So, outline of the 6 stages. Use common sense to solve the yellow face. Okay, so let's do that. Now, again, this is something you have to do on your own. I'm going to mix this up a little more just to make it convincing. Okay. Now remember, we know that this face has to be the yellow face because the center square is yellow. So this has to be the yellow face. There's no choice in the matter. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to try to get this all yellow as quick as I can. Okay. Let's see now. All right. What else we got here? How about that? Okay, let's see. How about that? All right. Okay. Okay, so there's the yellow face. And I'm kind of average speed, but there's the yellow face. It took me about 30 seconds. Okay. Now, it may take you a little bit longer, but I promise you, you do not need to be a math genius. I would say 99 people out of 100 are capable of getting the yellow face all by themselves without any particular directions. Okay. All right. Great. Great. Okay. The next thing we need to do, let's go back to the directions here. So that's stage one. Stage one is done. Yellow face. Okay. Stage two, use common sense and practice to solve the top row. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, now you'll notice we've got the top face, but we want this top row to be perfect, right? We want that to be perfect. Now look, this is pretty good, right? This is the yellow side, the yellow face. This is the green face. So these two pieces look good, right? Because they're yellow and green, right? And that's appropriate because if you have an edge piece between the yellow face and the green face, these edges need to be yellow and green. So these two look perfect. But this one doesn't look right, does it? Okay. So this piece does not belong here. So we're going to have to get rid of this. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this left-hand column and slide it down. Okay. Slide it down. And then I'm going to take this piece and put it safely to the side. Okay. And I'm going to take this column and put it back up again. Okay. So what I did is I bumped this piece loose, right? This yellow and blue. So this yellow and blue piece belongs on this side, right? Because this is the blue side, right? So this yellow and blue piece belongs there, right? That's where it belongs. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put it safely to the side, slide this column down, slide this piece into position, and then slide the column back up. And look at that. We've got yellow and blue. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, now you notice when we did that, that this piece got bumped. Now, where does this belong? Well, look, it's yellow and blue. Oh, but this is the right-hand column. So this yellow and blue belongs right there, right? Yellow and blue. So again, put it safely to the side. Bring this column down. Take our piece, slide it into position, and then slide this back up. Look at that. Blue, blue, blue. Perfect. All right, now this piece just got bumped, yellow and green. So let's go back over to the green side. So this belongs right up there, right? This belongs right there. So let's put this piece safely to the side. Bring this left-hand column down. Slide the piece into position and slide that column back up again. Look at that. Green, green, green. Perfect. All right. Almost. Okay, now look, this is good. Orange is good. Orange is good. But look at this. This should be a yellow and orange, not yellow and red, right? So this does not belong here. Okay. So we're going to take this middle column and slide it down. Okay. Take this piece, put it safely to the side. Bring that middle column back up again. Now we're going to take this piece over to the red side. Okay, so this yellow and red edge belongs right there. That's where it belongs. So let's put this safely to the side. Bring down the middle column. Slide that piece into position. Bring it back up. Perfect. Yellow and red. Perfect. Okay. Now this just got bumped, yellow and orange. So we bring this over to the orange side. So yellow and orange belongs right there, right? Yellow and orange. Put it safely to the side. Bring down this middle column. Slide the piece into position. Slide that column back up. Look at that. Perfect. Orange, orange, orange. Blue, blue, blue. Red, red, red. Green, green, green. So that top row is absolutely perfect. Okay. So look at that. All right. We're about 1/3 of the way there, right? Let's go back to this. Go back to our directions. So we did stage one, which was the yellow face. Good. Stage two was the top row. We did that. Okay. Now let's go on to stage three. Okay. Stage three says use the corner swapping algorithm to position but not orient the four bottom corners. Okay, let's take a look at this. All right, so what we need to do is make sure that these one, two, three, four bottom corners, right? The four bottom corners are in the correct location, even if they're not oriented correctly. Okay. Now, the first thing you can do is just turn this bottom layer to make as many of them match as possible. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Okay, so just by turning the bottom layer, I was able to make this red, white, and blue corner match, right? Red, white, and blue corner belongs right there. Good. And this corner should be red, white, and green, right? See, red, white, and green. So these two bottom corners are in the correct position, right? Now, what about these two bottom corners? These are in the wrong position, right? Look, this corner should be green, orange, and white, but it's not. It's blue, orange, and white. So this doesn't belong here. Similarly, this corner should be blue, orange, and white, but it's not. It's green, orange, and white. So what we need to do is swap these two bottom corner pieces. They need to be swapped, okay? So that's what we're doing here, okay? It says use the corner swapping algorithm to position but not orient the four bottom corner pieces. Do not worry about the orientation of these pieces for now. Okay, so let's go to the corner swapping algorithm. Whoops, sorry, there it is. It's on page 2, the corner swapping algorithm. Okay, so the corner swapping algorithm, the purpose is swap two bottom corner pieces. And the shape we're going to use is the backward L shape. The backward L shape, okay? So you can see from the picture, there's my eyeball, or maybe your eyeball. But for now, it's my eyeball looking at this front face, okay? And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to swap those two bottom corners. In other words, these two bottom corners need to be swapped, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm holding it right side up always. Remember, yellow must always be on the top when you're performing an algorithm, okay? So our goal is to swap these two pieces. So what does the algorithm say? The algorithm says down, across, up, clock, back, counter, down, back, up, across, twice. All right, so I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side just so we can have a clear view. Okay, here we go. Ready? Down. By the way, I should have said, I want you to visualize this backward L shape. Okay, as we're doing the algorithm, visualize this backward L shape. Okay, here we go. Down, across, up, clock, back, counter, down, back, up, across, twice. Done. Look at that. So this is now blue, white, and orange, right? Blue, white, and orange. Good. This is now green, white, and orange. Good. And we already know that these two corners are correct. So all four corners are in the correct position. Excellent. So we just finished another stage, right? All right, let's go back. Now remember, it says right here, do not worry about the orientation of these pieces for now, okay? So look, eventually we want this square to be white because it's on the bottom white face, but that's okay. It's in the right position, and it turns out that these corners will orient themselves later on. So we don't even have to worry about that. As long as they're in the correct position, they can orient themselves later on. All right? Excellent. Okay, we're doing well, man. All right, let's go to stage 4. Use the edge swapping algorithm to solve the 4 side edge pieces. Okay, the 4 side edge pieces. Okay, now look, This edge piece right here needs to be what two colors? Blue and red, right? But you can see it's not blue and red, it's blue and orange. So this doesn't belong here, right? So that's got to move. Here, this has to be orange and blue, not red and blue. So this doesn't belong either. Now, this one is right. This one's okay, right? Green and orange. But three of them need to be fixed. So what we're going to do is look on the bottom edges for anybody that can be relocated. Ah, here we go. Okay. So let me turn the page here so we can see the edge swapping algorithm. Okay. All right. So this is on page 3, the edge swapping algorithm. Okay. Now here's the algorithm right there. Now look at the picture. Let's see, where am I here? What did I do? What did I do? Where is it? Okay. So notice this has to be red and green, right? And red and green is on the bottom edge, but it needs to go there. So that's this picture, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap this bottom edge piece with a side edge piece, right? And that's what the edge swapping algorithm does, right? Purpose, swap a bottom edge piece with a side edge piece. So that's the bottom edge with the side edge of the appropriate color. So here it is. Let me put this to the side. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this red and green edge and it's going to go up into that position. And this one is going to go down into this position, right? So these two pieces are being swapped. Okay? All right. Now we're going to use the L-shaped algorithm, right? Okay. So here we go with the edge swapping algorithm. I'm just reading this right off the sheet. Okay, ready? Here we go. Across, down, back, up, back, down, back, twice. Up, across, down, across, up, back. And look at that, red and green. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. All right. So this one's good, red and green. This one's good, green and orange. Perfect. Now these two are still messed up. We're going to have to fix those. All right. Now, notice remember, what we need is an edge piece on the bottom that we can put on the side, but none of the ones on the bottom edges are ready to go. Let's see. All right, so what we're going to have to do in order to fix these is let's go back to our list of stages. Okay. All right, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to start thinking about the next stage, stage 5. Okay. Stage 5 says use the edge swapping algorithm to solve the white cross on the bottom face. Okay. So on the bottom, we need this to be a white cross, right? So that's white, but these three pieces all need to be white, okay? So what I'm going to do, since this should be white, I'm going to use this and swap it with this, because this doesn't belong here anyway, right? So I'm going to swap these two pieces in order to bring this one down so I can eventually bring it back up into this position, okay? So what I'm doing is swapping these two pieces, okay, using the L shape, okay? So here we go with the edge swapping algorithm. Here we go. Across, down, back, up, back, down, back, twice. Up, across, down, across, up, back. All right. So all we did was bring that piece down here, the blue and red. But now we can put this blue and red where it's supposed to go, okay? Which is right there, right? This blue and red belongs right there. Okay, so we're going to swap these two. Okay, so again, we're using the L shape. Okay, here comes the edge swapping algorithm again. Ready? Across, down, back, up, back, down, back, twice. Up, across, down, across, up, back. Great. Look at that. Blue and red. Perfect. Okay, so good, good, good. All right, we only have one more to go. Only got one more to go. So this needs to be what two colors? Blue and orange, right? Blue and orange. Now here's the blue and orange corner right there. So what we need to do is take this bottom edge and swap it with this side edge. So this will come right up there where it's supposed to be. Okay, now we could do that right now if we wanted to. But remember that the next stage is to get a white cross on the bottom, right? So if I brought this up into that position, that would be fine. But look, I still have these colored pieces where the white cross is supposed to be. So I'm going to hold off on that for a minute. Instead, I think I'm going to take this piece and swap these two, and that'll bring this white square down on the bottom where it's supposed to be, right? So I'm going to swap these two, this one and this one. Now look, now we're operating from the other side, so we're going to have to use a reverse L instead. Okay, let me go back to that. So now we're operating from the other side on the right side of the cube, right? We're swapping this and this. So what did I do? What did I do? I disoriented myself here. Okay, so we're taking this and swapping it with this. So this is the picture we're looking at this time. Okay, there's my eyeball. I got these pieces on the right. Okay, so this time it's going to be a backward L instead. So visualize the backward L. Okay, ready? Here we go. Across, down, back, up, back, down, back, twice. Up, across, down, across, up, back. All right, great. So now we've got a white piece on that corner where it's supposed to be. Excellent. Good, good, good. All right. Now, before we put this up, remember, we want to put this blue and orange right up there. Eventually, but not quite yet, because we still want to bring this white square down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap this and this in order to bring this white square down there. Okay. Okay, so now we're back to looking at it from the left side again. Okay, so there's my eyeball, and I'm looking at these two edge pieces on the left-hand side. Okay, so this is being swapped with this. We're using the L-shaped algorithm here. So here we go. Across, down, back, up, back, down, back, twice. Up, across, down, across, up, back. All right, excellent. We've almost got the white cross. And now finally, we can put this blue and orange edge piece right there where it belongs, okay? So now we're back to doing the right-hand side, right? See how this is being swapped with that. So this is being swapped with that. Backward L shape, all right? Doing the edge swapping algorithm again, okay? Same algorithm. All right, here we go. Again, visualize that backward L. Across, down, back, up, back, down, back, twice. Up, across, down, across, up, back. Look at that. Blue and orange, perfect. Look, we've got all the side edge pieces perfect, right? Green and orange, orange and blue, blue and red, red and green, perfect. And We've got the white cross on the bottom. Perfect. Fantastic. All right, let's go back to our list of stages. So it looks like we've completed stages 1 through 5. We are looking good. We're almost there. Almost there. Okay. So before I finish, let's just recap what we did so far. Okay. We got the top, the yellow top all by itself. Most people can do that by themselves without any direction. Then we got the top row, right? Remember how we did that? Then we got the bottom 4 corners. They're not oriented correctly, but that's okay. They're in the correct position. Then we got the 4 side edge pieces perfectly. And we got the white cross on the bottom. All right, we are doing great. We are doing great. All right, so let's get ready for the final stage. Okay, we are doing great and we're almost done. Okay, so we're at the sixth and final stage. Use the finishing algorithm repeatedly until the entire cube is solved. Okay, so what is the finishing algorithm? All right, so let's skip ahead to page 4 in the document, in the PDF document. Okay. All right. The finishing algorithm. Purpose, finish solving the entire cube. All right, great. Okay. Now the shape, well, it could be L or the backward L. It depends on which side we're doing it from, right? Again, this is one of those ambidextrous algorithms. Okay. So there's the algorithm itself, down, across, up, across, down, across, twice, up. All right. Now here's a tip. Do not try the finishing algorithm until you have finished stages 1 through 5. Well, we have. We have finished stages 1 through 5. Okay. All right. So we're all set to go here. Then look for any of the patterns, A, B, or C, shown below. Okay. So we're looking for these famous patterns, A, B, or C, shown below. Begin the finishing algorithm as indicated by each diagram. If none of these patterns are showing, then you can still try the finishing algorithm as long as you're holding the cube in your hand with the yellow face on top. Repeating the finishing algorithm will eventually lead to a solved cube. All right? Okay, now let's take a look at the bottom of the cube. Remember, just by convention, yellow is always considered the top. So we're going to look at the bottom and look for any of the famous patterns. Okay, so this is the bottom of the cube here. All right, so let's see. Pattern A. Pattern A says the bottom face has 1 white corner and 3 non-white corners. Well, that's clearly not the case here. In this case, all 4 corners are non-white, right? So this is definitely not pattern A, okay? It's not that, all right? What about pattern B? Pattern B? Pattern B. The bottom face is all white. Definitely not, right? We've got these colored corners. So this is definitely not pattern B. Definitely not, all right? How about pattern C? 2 adjacent corners on the bottom face have the same color. Look at that, orange and orange. These 2 adjacent corners, same color. Beautiful. So this looks like pattern C. So what do? Hold the cube so that the 2 corners with the same color are on the right-hand side of the bottom face. If the other 2 corners on the bottom face also share a color, then choose whichever color is lighter. Okay, so look, we have these 2 orange and we're supposed to hold it. Remember, we always hold it right side up with the 2 colors that are the same on the right-hand side. But look, we also have these 2 colors that are the same. So what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to have the orange colors on the right side or the yellow corners on the right side? Well, it says use whichever color is lighter. And would you agree with me that orange is lighter than red? Perfect. So we're going to use orange. And by the way, white is considered the lightest color. So whichever color is lighter, use that. So we're using orange, okay? So hold the cube as indicated in the diagram. Now try the finishing algorithm. Okay, so you can see in the diagram, we're holding the cube right side up as always, and the two corners that are the same color on the right-hand side. Okay, so this is a backward L only. So this is not ambidextrous. This is always a backward L. Okay, so visualize that backward L. Okay, so there's my eyeball, and I'm facing this side, those two orange corners on the right of the bottom face. So here we go. We're going to do this algorithm right there. Okay, here we go. Then this is actually the simplest algorithm. Here we go. Down, across, up, across, down, across, twice, up. All right. Now, what we're going to do, let's turn the bottom layer just to realign the corners. Good. All right. Now, what pattern is this? We always remember after each round, after each time that we apply the finishing algorithm, we check the bottom face to see what pattern it is. Now, this doesn't look like A, B, or C. This doesn't look like any pattern. Right? I don't think that's any pattern. But we know what to do, right? The last thing it says on page 8 says, after you have finished stages 1 through 5, it is very likely that pattern A, B, or C will appear on the bottom face. However, even if none of these common patterns is showing on the bottom face, you can still try the finishing algorithm as long as you are holding the cube in your hand with the yellow face on top. Repeating the finishing algorithm will eventually lead to a solved cube. Don't give up. You may bounce back and forth between the A, B, C, or other patterns several times before the cube is finally solved. Okay, so when I'm looking at this, it's not A, it's not B, it's not C. It's nothing. This is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so it doesn't matter. What that tells us, just make sure you're holding it right side up, yellow on top, and just perform the algorithm with any face for it. It doesn't matter. That's what they're telling you. Since this is not one of those recognized patterns, just go for it. We're just going to do the finishing algorithm. Okay, so I just arbitrarily chose this face. So here we go. Down, across, up, across, down, across, twice, up. All right, let's check the bottom again. Remember, we're going to realign the bottom corners. All right, this looks like pattern C again. Wait, didn't we have pattern C before? Yeah, we did, but that's okay. Sometimes you have a pattern C and then you go to another pattern and you come back to C. So we're back to C again. No problem. Go back to C. Okay. So we got these two corners of the same color, which are supposed to be on the right-hand side. Well, wait a minute. These two corners are also the same color, white. And white is lighter than green, so we use the white. So hold the cube right side up. These two corners of the same color on the right side, backward L-shaped. Let's try the finishing algorithm again. Here we go. Down, across, up, across, down, across, twice, up. Okay. Turn the bottom layer to align the bottom four corners and recheck. Oh, this looks like pattern A. All right, we're making progress. We're pattern A. Let's go to pattern A. Okay, pattern A. Pattern A says the bottom face has one white corner and three non-white corners. Good. This looks like pattern A for sure. The white corner has two squares of the same color on the adjacent face. Okay. So here's the white corner. And what's supposed to happen is that these two colors are supposed to be the same, but they're not. See in the picture? These two are the same color, but that's disappointing. So that's not working. Or maybe these two could be the same as in this picture, but that's not working either. So unfortunately, it is a pattern A, but it's not the way it is in the picture. So I'm going to tell you a dirty little secret of how to fix this, okay? Remember, ideally, right next to the white corner, we'd like either those two to be the same color or those two to be the same color. That would be ideal. But those two are not the same color, and neither are those two the same color. So what we have to do is something different. So what we're going to do is make a note of which color is not showing on the bottom. And what I notice is that there's no red on the bottom. So let's hold this cube so that that red square is facing us. Okay? So because there's no red on the bottom, hold it so that red square on that white corner is facing us like this. So we're going to use this picture basically. Okay? So this is the L. So visualize the L. And we're going to do the finishing algorithm, but this time from the left, right? Using an L. Here we go. Finishing algorithm. Down, across, up, across, down, across, twice. Up, okay? Turn the bottom layer to align the corners. What do we got? Oh, this looks like pattern B. Pattern B. Oh, we're really moving around. All right. It's all right. Pattern B. Okay. Yep, this is definitely pattern B because the bottom surface is all white. Okay. Let's read this carefully. Pattern B. The bottom face is all white. Definitely. Definitely pattern B. Okay. However, three or four, okay, three or possibly four of the side faces have one square of the wrong color in the middle of their bottom row. Yeah, that's exactly what we have. Look, right? See, wrong color, wrong color, wrong color on three of the side faces. This one is okay. This face is okay. But on three of the side faces, we got a square of the wrong color in the middle of the bottom row. Okay, so this is definitely pattern B. All right. Hold the cube in the hand so that the face without the mistake is in the back. Okay. So in other words, the red, see the red face does not have the mistake. So we're going to put that in back. So we're facing this orange side with the red side with no mistake in the back. Okay, great. Okay. All right. Okay. It also says if all four sides have a mistake, okay, in other words, sometimes there'd be a mistake in this one as well. So it says if all four sides have a mistake, then just choose one of these faces and hold the cube with that face in front. Okay. But in this case, one of them is no mistake, so we're all good to go here. Hold the cube as indicated in the diagram. Now try the finishing algorithm. Okay, now look. If I'm looking at this front face, the orange, we want to know where is that missing orange square? Is it to the left? No. Is it to the right? Yes, there it is, right? The missing orange square is to the right. So that's this picture, right? See, there's my eyeball. I'm looking at the orange face, and the missing orange square is to the right. So that's this picture. So backward L shape. So visualize the backward L. Okay. And let's try the finishing algorithm, right? Here we go. Down, across, up, across, down, across, twice, up. Okay. Turn the bottom layer to align the corners. Looks good. Looks like we're back to pattern A again. All right. Remember, I said this was going to happen, right? We're just bouncing back and forth between pattern. Don't worry, it's going to work. All right, we're back to pattern A. See how we've got the one the one white corner and the three non-white corners. This is definitely pattern A, okay? The bottom face has one white corner and three non-white corners. The white corner has two squares of the same color on the adjacent face. Look at that, orange and orange, perfect. So this one matches perfectly. Okay, so that's this picture, right? So I'm looking at this green face. There's my eyeball looking at the green face. And look at the white corner. And just adjacent, we have the two corners, two squares of the same color right there. So we're going to use the L shape. And let's do the finishing algorithm again. Here we go. Down, across, up, across, down, across, twice, up. Okay? Realign the bottom corner. Look at that! We're done. How about that? Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, so we did great. That took about 57 minutes to explain it the first time. And that's normal. The very first time you do it takes a little time, right? But the more you practice, it starts to get really, really easy. And if you keep practicing this method that we learned today, eventually you'll be able to do it in less than 3 minutes, pretty much every single time. Just takes a little bit of practice. So if you want to do it, we could do it one more time, but this time we'll do it quickly and we won't have to stop and read the sheet each time. But let me just, you know what we should do first? Let's just quickly recap the stages that we did, okay? Stage one was just use common sense to get the yellow face. Remember, that's what we did. Remember, yellow by convention is the top. So just use your own intelligence and your own intuition to get the yellow face, okay? Stage two, we made sure that the top row was perfect by removing the wrong pieces and putting in the right pieces, okay? All right, stage three, we used the corner swapping algorithm to make sure that the bottom four corners were in the correct location, even if they were oriented wrong, doesn't matter, okay? Stage four, we used the edge swapping algorithm to solve the four side edge pieces, right? There, 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 and there, right? Stage five, we used the edge swapping algorithm to solve the white cross on the bottom face. Okay. And finally, stage six, we used the finishing algorithm repeatedly until the entire cube is solved. Remember, when you get to this stage, you're always looking for pattern A, B, C, or some other unknown pattern. But no matter what, you know what to do. It'll tell you what to do, right? And you can just use this document to tell you what to do. All right, that's the idea. Okay. All right, you want to go through it like real quick? You want to do it in like 3 minutes? Just see if we can do it in 3 minutes. And I won't stop at every stage. I'll just keep going. Okay. So if you want to grab your document and just look at it as I do it, just kind of follow along as I do it. Okay. So let me get a whole nother cube. And let's see, I'm gonna mix this up thoroughly. Right in front of you, so you won't, maybe you think I'm cheating. Maybe you think I have a solved cube off to the side. And so let's see. Gonna get this all mixed up. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's all mixed up. Okay, so grab your document, grab this document and see if you can follow me along. Okay, stage one, tell me what to do. Get the yellow face, right? So let's just see how fast we can get the yellow face just by using common sense. All right, how about that? Okay, what else we got here? All right, let's see. Okay, where are we? Where is? All right. Okay, there's our yellow face. That's stage one. Okay. Now we got to make sure the top row is right. Let's see. How does that look? Oh, that's not bad, I guess. Okay. So let's fix this. This is wrong, right? Bring that down, put it to the side, put it up. Let's see, yellow and blue. Let's see, yellow and green should go over here. Good. Yellow and red should go here. Good. What else we got? Oh, this should be yellow and red. Put that aside. Yellow and green. Okay. Good, good, good. Let's see. Yellow and orange. Okay. Yellow and red. All right. Look at that. Top row looks good. All right. So that's the end of stage two. Let's see. What do we need? Bottom four corners. Bottom four corners. Those two need to be swapped. And these two need to be swapped. All right. So we got to swap these two bottom corners. So we use, of course, the corner swapping algorithm. Down, across, up, clock, back, counter, down, back, up, cross twice. All right. These two corners are in the right location. These two corners need to be swapped. Down, across, up, clock, back, counter, down, back, up, cross twice. All right, that looks good, pretty good. All right, we move on to the next stage, stage four. Let's see, orange and blue goes there, cross, down, back, up, back, down, back twice, up, cross, up. Right, that's the edge swapping algorithm, right? All right, how about this? Green and red from the other side, across, down, back, down, back twice, up, across, up, back. Looks good. Let's see, we need red, red and blue. Okay, backward L, down, back, down, back twice, up, across, up, back. All right, finally, we need to get the white cross on the bottom and we need to fix this. So let's swap these two across, down, back, down, back twice, up, across, up, back. All right, looks good. And finally, let's put this orange and green here, across, down, back, down, back twice, up, across, up, back. All right, looks good. All right. Now, all we have now is the sixth and final stage. What pattern is this? Doesn't that look like pattern A? Pattern A. And in the white corner on the bottom face, we have the adjacent squares of the same color. Looks good. Down, across, down, across twice, up. Realign. Another pattern A. Okay. By the way, notice that these two colors are the same and these two colors are the same. So how do we know which one to choose? The way you break the tie is you hold it so whichever color is not on the bottom is facing you. So I notice there's no blue on the bottom face. So let's hold it so this blue is facing us, okay? Down, across, up, across, down, across, twice, up. All right, realign. Oh, this looks like pattern B. Three of the side faces have a mistake. This one doesn't. Hold that in back. Okay, where's the red? It's to the left. Down, across, up, across, down, across twice, up. Okay, this looks like another pattern A. Down, across, up, across, down, across, twice, up. And we are done. Look at that. What was that, like 3 minutes? About 3 minutes? All right, we're kicking ass and taking names. Beautiful. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Um, Again, the most important thing is that you have this document. Feel free to watch the video over and over again, but make sure you've got this PDF with you because that's the most important part. Okay. And just to refresh your memory, the way you get this is you go to the YouTube, in the YouTube video, right below the YouTube video, in the description box, you'll see this link. Okay. You click on that link, follow the directions to download it, and print a copy. Okay. Print a copy of the PDF, and then you'll be all set to go. Okay. I promise you, the first time you do it, it's hard, and then it just gets really easy, and it's just good nerd fun, right? It's fun to teach your friends. All right. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.